Had you left them down for the bugs to live? And that's kind of.
Yeah, and I didn't have big spaces, just all around the little plants, yeah. It was fun.
Nice to be outside. Researching the window? No, there's looks like water. I think it is
Well,
water.
there was some water.
Okay, it's definitely water, so.
Maybe.
words. I'm Tom Finan, and I use the he, him pronouns. I'm a member of the worship committee. If you are a visitor or a newcomer, we'd like to extend a special welcome. We're glad to be together this Sunday, whether in person or online. And if you are new to our congregation, be sure to fill out a community card found in the pews, or if you're online, click on the link in the live stream description. After service, please join us downstairs in Fellowship Hall for coffee and donuts. We welcome families with children. Families with children are invited to connect with the RE Committee and Reverend Sabrina Trupia, our Minister of Congregational Life, after the service for more information about our RE program. If you're attending online, you can connect with each other in the chat, and don't forget that the link for virtual coffee hour can be found in your weekly e-news. We have a few announcements this morning. First Unitarian is proud to host Forward Attainable Housing from Talk to Focused Action on March 25th from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. The program, convened by Construction Forum, features regional practitioners delivering housing solutions. Attendance is free, but registration is required. See the e-news to sign up. First U members and friends at the Missouri History Library and Research join First U members and friends at the Missouri History Library and Research Center for a presentation by Brady Wolf, Curator of Indigenous Collections, Saturday, April 11th at 1:30 p.m. as part of our education and history on this land and the people displaced from it. See your e-news to RSVP. Today, after service, the Environmental Justice Task Force will meet at 11:30 in the Clark Room. Join ERDA next Sunday, March 22nd in the chapel to celebrate the spring equinox. Join Reverend Kim and Reverend Sabrina for an all-ages game night on Friday, March 27th from 5:30 to 8 p.m. Bring your favorite board game and we'll have snacks. Now please center yourself in preparation for worship. Welcome to this religious community where we affirm the worth and dignity of all who enter. We gather in community, understanding we're all sacred beings, diverse in culture, experience, identity, and theology. Our values invite us to a shared journey of truth and meaning making. Together, we foster a kindred spirit of gratitude and generosity so that all may feel welcome and all can thrive. We're glad you're here this morning. Please enjoy our prelude, number 3 of 3 meditations on the theme by William Byrd, arranged by Eric Thiemann, performed by Alan Hoffman.
Good morning. It's fun to sit in a different spot. I always see you all out here sitting in the same spot most days, and I usually sit in the same spot, and it's changed how I pay attention to sit in a different spot. Good morning. I am the Reverend Kim Mason. I use she, her pronouns, and I serve this congregation as lead minister. Our theme for the month is paying attention. We enter into worship with these words by the Reverend Karen G. Johnston. Wise ones say, we can be good, good enough, and imperfect, all at the same time. Wise ones say, that we can listen to understand, not necessarily agree, and be moved by a truth that does not make sense to our experience, and let it be healed. They tell us also to raise up those who are trodden upon, to cultivate humility when the world would rather we grow certitude in our hearts. Wise ones remind us we can recognize that those who do harm do not always intend to, and that it is still ours to recognize the impact. They tell us that we can say, I don't know, and I'm not sure, and still be whole, still be the leader. In fact, the kind of leader we long for. Wise ones tell us to pay attention to not just the what, but also the how. May this be the meditation of our hearts. May this be the words of our mouths. Not just the what, but the how. May we be the wise ones today and every day. Come, let us worship together. Please rise as you are willing and able for our hymn of the month, number 398, To See the World. It's short, and we're going to sing it through twice.
Each Sunday after we light the chalice, we sing a response, some original music from congregants, some from other artists, some from our hymnal. We sing a different song each Sunday of the month and the same songs each month. This is the third Sunday, and so we are singing There Is Always a Light with words by Amanda Gorman and music by Leah Morris. Our chalice lighting words are from the Reverend Dr. Orlando Bugnola. As we move through life, finding ourselves always new, wise, and newly foolish, we ask that our mistakes be small, not hurtful. We ask that as we gain experience, we do not forget our innocence, for they are both part of the whole.
My name is Emily J. Cox. I'm the chair of the Canvas Committee. During the month of March, my pronouns are she, hers, and captain. I'm reporting on our progress so far. We have 98 pledges totaling $303,805. Our goal is $425,000, so we are 74% of the way there. We're making great progress. But we can't lose momentum or we will not meet our goal. Counting today, we have 3 more Sundays of Canvas. If you haven't pledged, because you have questions, I'm sure you are not alone. This is a UU congregation after all. Everyone in this room has questions. So if you have questions about the Canvas or about your own pledge in particular, please come and find me after the service. I was a reference librarian for over 40 years, and I love questions. So for people who've already pledged, to anyone who has increased their pledge so far over last year's pledge is in this basket. And the prize today, carrying on a tradition of a former church member, I have some homemade wine vinegar made by yours truly. Yeah, I just started channeling Gino. Okay, you want to do the honors, Tom? Kathy Wire. All right. And everyone who pledged is going to get one of these nifty, super strong and capable clippy things with a magnet, so you can always have it nearby and and you see the church logo on the front and the hearts about our blessings. Will that be downstairs? Or, yeah. We'll figure out how to get these to you. All right. So next week, remember, we've got some more weeks of Canvas. Next week, anyone who's pledged so far this year, and the other half of the people who auto-renewed from last year are going to be in next week's raffle, and this is not to be missed, Cheryl Coulter's legendary lemon-topped cheesecake is going to be the raffle prize. So if you've been thinking, what week would be a good week to pledge, this week would be a really good week to pledge. Last week, I talked about another Canvas-related activity, potluck meals in member homes, as a way of enjoying our community in smaller groups. It's looking like March is already a very, very crowded month. We weren't getting a lot of signups in the first round, so we're still gonna do this, but we're gonna spread them out in April, May, and maybe early June, so watch your email and future announcements for more details. And as another way to get to know each other better, now we will hear from church member Ian Simmons, who will share some of his journey to First Unitarian.
All right. I think I'm going to stand. Hi. My name is Ian Simmons. I'm a member here, and I use he, him pronouns. And thank you for the introduction. About 4 years ago, my now ex and I decided we should expose our kids to religion in some way. We came from very different religious backgrounds. I was baptized and confirmed Catholic, then quickly became a non-practicing one. She'd been exposed to Judaism, non-denominational Christianity, and Quakerism. We both had developed spiritual beliefs in our adult lives, so we thought it would probably be good for us to expose the kids to something, to have them experience something. At the time, they were 6 and 4 years old, and we took them to a Unitarian church here in town, one that was close to where we lived. After the service, we even stayed so they could play on the playground. But something kind of remarkable happened. During the entire time we were there, and it may have been for any number of reasons, I don't know why, but it just was what it was. Not a single person spoke to us. Not during the service, not afterwards in the fellowship area. Not that I remember anyway. Not even while we were standing there watching our kids play. And this was right after COVID, so maybe that was why it was, or a couple of years after COVID. So anyway, we decided we probably wouldn't go back. But we still liked the idea of finding a church, and I suggested the other Unitarian church in town, this one, because a community group I'd been a part of had met here before. So we came to a service in early 2023, and the experience was completely different, thankfully. People introduced themselves, shook our hands, welcomed us. I got so caught up in the fellowship area, the fellowship hall here, that my now ex eventually had to come pull me away so we could actually leave. Ironically, maybe not, that was the only time the four of us attended together. Life got busy, then we started divorce proceedings, separated, and began sharing custody. Early on in the new custody dynamic there, one weekend when I had the kids, I asked them if they wanted to come back here, having that same idea that I wanted to expose them to some religious experience. And this was sort of my idea of coming to a place that was not going to be contentious, possibly in our not so contentious, but potentially contentious divorce. So, safe decision. Anyway, they remembered it right away, especially the RE class, which I had forgotten they even went to. It's perhaps the snacks that helped, I'm not sure. They were very excited to go, and they loved it when we went. In fact, 2 weekends later, when I had them again, they asked me if we could come back that Sunday. And yeah. I was happy about that, because when I was a kid, my parents, they had to drag me to Mass every week, and but I wanted them to have an experience. So, and having kids that want to go to church, that's pretty great. But I kept coming for another reason too. It wasn't just them. When I'm here, I don't feel like I have to quietly disagree with what I'm hearing. I don't feel like I need to hide parts of what I think and believe. I can just be myself. And that's why I keep coming back. The people here and the sense of belonging and community. Sorry. I'll close with this. Just last Sunday, I took my kids to Mass at the Catholic parish in my neighborhood. We just moved there. All the kids are running around. That's where they go to school. I figured they might want to see what it's like. They'd asked about it, so we went there. It brought back a lot of memories for me, not all good. It did help me compare how I felt there with how I felt here, and the difference was clear. Here I feel more at home. Now, I will say that there were a lot more people at that Mass than there are here most Sundays. Probably 10x what's here. But I suspect many of them may have been on the cafeteria plan as I was. In any event, my hope is that First U keeps growing, that more people discover it, and that this church keeps doing the good work it's already doing. And thanks.
Thank you, Ian. I think I can safely say that we are all so glad that you received a warm welcome and that you have found a church home here. We pay attention to the needs of others when we share our joys and concerns. As I read from this morning's joys and concerns, I invite you to come forward and drop a stone in the bowl for those things weighing you down, and blow bubbles as you return to your seat for those things lifting you up. Now is the time in our service when we connect with one another by sharing our sorrows and concerns. This week we bear witness to anti-Semitic and anti-Muslim acts of violence across our nation, in particular the attack on Temple Beth Israel in West Bloomfield, Michigan, the protests at Gracie Mansion in New York City, and the shooting at Old Dominion University in Virginia. And we grieve the lives disrupted, families separated, homes lost, and children killed as war extends across the Middle East. In times of fear and anxiety, may our grief lead us to find community and compassion. In our congregation, we send healing prayers to Carolyn Toft, who is in the hospital with a lung infection. And here this morning, we hold many good memories of adventures and snuggles with a beloved 17-year-old Shih Tzu who crossed the Rainbow Bridge this week. We hold concern for family and friends with health problems, including the author. We worry about ongoing hostility in the world and pray that we learn to love each other. We carry the increasing anxiety of a worsening neurological condition and likelihood of brain surgery at a future date. We share with many both worry and anger over the inability to attain health care. We worry about trying to figure out how to insulate a crawl space in a home when an entire back wall is missing. And we grieve for a coworker whose daughter passed away from sepsis at the age of 13. We hold these concerns with tenderness and compassion. May they be lighter because they are shared. As a community, we also share our joys and celebrations with one another. This week, we celebrate with the St. Louis Unitarian Foundation for Children, received the 2026 Champion for Children Award from Southside Early Childhood Center at a recent gala. Who knew that being a minister would also be being able to be Vanna? We offer our deep gratitude to an anonymous donor for the gift of this gorgeous new piano. And I'm going to invite all of you to stop by downstairs and add your signature to this thank you card. And we have a deep gratitude from Nadine Vlietstra that she has finally recovered from RSV. We are happy also. In our congregation this morning, we celebrate the sunshine and music that is today before false spring leaves. Yeah, what is it? That's like 12 seasons in St. Louis? We celebrate and appreciate videos of a daughter playing with her family. And here we are in 314 celebrating Pi Day yesterday. We lift up these joys with gladness and celebration. May they be magnified because they are shared. With many joys and concerns remaining unspoken in our hearts and minds, please join me in a spirit of prayer and mindful attention. Spirit of life and love, holy within and among us, we hold the connections we find with each other with care, understanding that community is both a gift and a practice. When we find places where we can be vulnerable, where we are welcomed, where we are fully authentic, we recognize the gift we have received. When we choose to return to those places again and again, when we show up even when it's hard, when we are lovingly honest with each other, we are participating in community. When we can speak our truth and witness another's with the open heart of compassion, we are a community. Spirit of life, source of connection, may we always find in ourselves the willingness to return, to reunite with our deepest selves and the promises we make. May we be open to the diversity of experience and perspectives that help us all thrive. Spirit of love, font of empathy, may we offer grace both to ourselves and to each other, knowing that we will make mistakes, and that with the support of community, our hope is always to learn and grow. In times of uncertainty and anxiety, may we hold one another with open arms and open hearts that allow for building the beloved community. May it be so. Amen, and blessed be. The First Unitarian Church of St. Louis strives to be a welcoming congregation, inspiring lives of loving kindness and integrity by nurturing spirituality, building community, and advancing justice. Your gifts support the mission and ministry of this congregation in the St. Louis region and beyond. This morning's offering will now be received.
If I needed you, would you come to me? Would you come to me for to ease my pain? If you needed me,
Thank you, Muses. In this month of Canvas, I am so grateful for all the people who participate in making our Canvas successful. Our Canvas captain, Emily J. Cox, all the folks who help to coordinate supplies and mailings and agree to help with things like circle suppers. To make the Canvas happen is a team effort. So thank you, Canvas, and thank you for your pledges, for your gifts this morning, today and every day. Thank you.
This morning's reading comes from 1 Corinthians chapter 13, the gift of love. If I speak in the tongues of humans and angels, but I do not have love, I'm a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have faith so as to remove mountains, but I do not have love, I am nothing. If I give away all my possessions, and if I hand over my body, so that I may boast, but I do not have love, I have nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable. It keeps no record of wrongs. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. But as for prophecies, they will come to an end. As for tongues, they will cease. As for knowledge, it will come to an end. For we know only in part, and we prophesy only in part. But when the complete comes, the partial will come to an end. When I was a child, I spoke like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. When I became an adult, I put on an end to childish ways. For now, we see only a reflection as in a mirror, but then we will see face to face. Now I know only in part, then I will know fully, even as I've been fully known. And now faith, hope, and love remain. And these three, the greatest of these, is love.
Oh, sorry, Tom. Are you okay? I'm so sorry. You sure? Okay. Why don't you take a seat, and we'll get somebody to get you some ice, okay? I need to be more careful with this boot on my foot. I'm sorry. I will be more mindful in the future. How many times have you encountered a situation just like this, where you have accidentally stepped on someone or been accidentally stepped on? Show of hands? Yeah, right? It is so common, we probably can't even count the number of times something like this has happened to us. And we're taught that when we hurt someone, especially unintentionally like this, we apologize, right? No brainer. It's part of our social contract. Society would break down if we ran around bumping into each other and refusing to apologize, which explains a whole lot about social media. What if, when I stepped on Tom, I said, "You knew I was coming from the pulpit. You should have gotten out of my way faster"? Or, I didn't step on you that hard, you're just too sensitive. Ouch. Not just ouch to Tom's foot, but ouch to our relationship, right? Ouch to Tom's worth and dignity. Because my comments would suggest that something is wrong with him for experiencing hurt. That definitely doesn't respect him as a person. And even more, it doesn't express love. Our reading today, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, gets to the heart of this. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. It does not matter what I say. If I am not engaging with love, then what I say will ring hollow. It will ring meaningless. What if when I stepped on Tom, I said, "Oh, I didn't see you there. I didn't mean to step on you"? Not the worst, right? But also not an apology. Or what if I say, "I didn't mean to step on you. I'm sorry you thought I was clumsy." Yeah, nope, definitely not an apology. To suggest that he thought I was clumsy is not to take any accountability for my actions. And you don't want to blame the person for your own actions. Where would be the love in that? There is a current marketing trend in which a business issues an apology on letterhead, essentially apologizing for how good their product is. Has anybody encountered this? Yeah, I've seen it a few times. It got me the first time, and then the second time I was like, oh yeah, that thing. Call this the sorry not sorry apology marketing campaign. There is a scene in an iconic teen movie of the early aughts, Mean Girls, in which a teacher stages a group apology and a trust fall exercise that is a very good example of this. It is, in fact, a master class in not actually apologizing. Mo is going to show us a clip. It's very short. Uh-oh, we don't have any sound.
I'm sorry that people are so jealous of me, but I can't help it that I'm popular. Oh my God.
This is the classic sorry not sorry. I'm sure you can think of others. As Unitarian Universalists, we participate in covenantal faith. If that language sounds familiar, yes, many faiths are covenantal. I grew up United Methodist, and in the Christian tradition, the people live in covenant with God, as in fact do all Abrahamic faiths, Judaism and Islam included. Paganism is also covenantal, each practice ending with the words, "And it harm none, do what ye will." As you use, we live in covenant with one another. Our faith is relational. This is one of the theological roots of the shared value of interdependence. We exist in relationship with one another and with the natural world. And we recognize that our survival depends on those relationships. And when we foster the flourishing of one another, we foster our own flourishing as well. That is the meaning of mutual thriving. In this context, then, covenant is the acknowledgement of relationship and the record of the promises we make to each other. Our UU values are a covenant, the shared values that we agree to affirm and promote through word and deed. And our congregation also has a covenant, a really long, literally one-page document of all the promises that we make to each other to be part of the First Unitarian Church of St. Louis. It begins, "We, the congregation of First Unitarian Church of St. Louis, embrace these principles to foster a vibrant spiritual community to nourish one another and return our energy to the world as we work for justice and peace. Specifically, we promise to," and there are 14 bullet points. We could maybe condense a little bit of it. One of those bullet points is show respect and care for each other in words and deeds. And another is work through issues and concerns using direct communication and recognize that differences and disappointments offer us the opportunity to deepen our understanding and our community. A covenant with statements such as this calls on us to engage with one another, to act with love, to speak with love, and listen with love. Listening with love means hearing what the other is saying, and by hearing, I mean receiving what is being said. Not deflecting with defensiveness or saying, "That wasn't my intention. I didn't mean to." This next part is interactive and was created by my wise colleague, the Reverend Karen G. Johnston. I'm going to need some volunteers today to be human mirrors. I'm going to come down there in just a minute. And so one at a time, I'd like you to act like a human mirror. And you can stand near me and you can say, "You have something on your face." So who wants to be first? Nobody? Oh, here's Lisa. All right.
You have something on your face.
No, I don't. I don't have anything on my face. Who's next?
You have something on your face.
What are you talking about? I wash my face every day. How could I possibly have something on my face?
You have something on your face.
I have something on my face? What's wrong with me? I try to keep my face clean. How could you? I don't.
Ooh, you have something on your face.
How dare you tell me something on my face? I'm leaving now. I can't believe people say I have things on my face. Why would I come here if I have things on my face?
You have something on your face.
Thank you so much for letting me know. I've been working on it, but I can't seem to get it. Would you help me? I could use some help. Can you help me get this thing off my face? Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate your help. I promise not to yell at you like that next time. Everybody okay? Thanks for playing along. When you think about being in community together and what it means to be a Unitarian Universalist, which response do you think was the best? We're not going to say right or wrong. We're just going to say best. Tom? Yeah, I see somebody pointing at Tom, too. Thanks for noticing. Yes. When we're building community together, it's important to pay attention to what people have to say. Sometimes even when we don't want to hear it. But we listen because it's part of our covenant, our promise to each other. There are times when we need to hear the news or the feedback, because even if it causes us discomfort. Because in hearing it and responding with curiosity and humility, we can grow and we can move toward the beloved community. And this is especially true when it comes to talking about things like cultural privilege, race, gender, disability, sexual orientation, class. This interactive exercise was a demonstration in how sometimes we respond skillfully or unskillfully to receiving some of these messages, and how the ways that we respond can affirm our covenant with one another. And to not only affirm our covenant, but to respond in a way that is an expression of love, of respect, and relationship. So often when receiving uncomfortable feedback, we hear comments about our behavior as comments about our inherent nature, our own worthiness. When someone tells us that a comment or an action might be homophobic or racist, what we often hear is that we are homophobic or racist, not the comment. And so we respond with defensiveness. I have done this myself. And the fact is that each of us has made mistakes, will make mistakes, makes mistakes today and every day. It's part of being human. Our job when these things happen is to recognize that even when we didn't intend to harm someone, our behavior had an impact. Listening is paying attention so that we can learn. In a world full of blame and non-apologies, we seek to see face to face, which requires the ability to both receive messages of impact and offer apologies regardless of intent. A good apology includes an acknowledgement of the mistake, genuine remorse, acceptance of responsibility, and a commitment to make amends or behave differently in the future. There is an old adage, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. In a faith community that does not believe in hell, refusing to acknowledge harm by saying, but that wasn't my intention, and rejecting that relationship is a behavior that can lead to alienation and isolation, which one might consider to be a form of hell. We saw in the clip earlier when the character fails to give a sincere apology, everyone moves away from her. And in the trust fall, they let her fall. T.S. Eliot, grandchild of this congregation, said, "Hell is where nothing connects. We are in the business of finding connections." Connection is being in alignment with our thoughts, words, and actions. Or when our community, our covenant, and our values are all in agreement. Being in alignment is having integrity. And the reading this morning was about integrity. If we speak with bravest fire but have not love, then we are out of alignment with who we profess to be. We lose our integrity. Integrity is part of our mission. It's in our mission statement. The First Unitarian Church of St. Louis strives to be a welcoming congregation, inspiring lives of loving kindness and integrity. In community, we know we may make mistakes, but we pay attention. We listen and learn. Let us lead with good intentions and acknowledge impact. Let us lean into relationship. Let us build the beloved community. As it says in this morning's text, "For now we see only a reflection as in a mirror, but then we will see face to face. Now I know only in part. Then I will know fully, even as I have been fully known. And now faith, hope, and love remain. These three, and the greatest of these is love." And now we have some young people here, so we're going to sing them in with number 188.
Hello, is this thing on? Hi, that's a lot. I am the Reverend Sabrina Trapia. I serve this congregation as the Minister of Congregational Life, and this is the connection moment. Oh yeah, my pronouns are they and them. So in class this month, we've been looking at pluralism, which is looking at different people that do things differently than we do, whether it is faith or food or even expression. And so today, we have invited Caleb, Mr. Caleb, to teach your kids how to write poetry. And so the entire class, including the adults and Mr. Caleb, will now read their poetry.
Yes. I got my first MVP card. When the match started, I started with 1 goal and went up to 3 goals. Thank you, team.
My title is The Singing Camp. The camp has people surrounded. The crowded people sit in a circle. Singing in a circle of song, the music fills my ears. Song fills ears and heals.
Aww.
My story is titled Brian's Trip. Brian was flying in a small airplane, and his pilot had a heart attack, and he crashed into a lake.
Spring awakening. On a trip in Iceland, stopped to admire a flower blooming on the frozen tundra, waking from a long sleep, welcoming the spring.
Dreams. Bud blooming on a dead branch, cut in a vase inside. It dreams of life outside. It's growing green with dreams. We dream, we grow, we live. Thank you.
Could we get one more applause for all the lovely poets that we have here? Hi again. My name is Caleb. I'm a local poet here, and all of these were examples of Sing Canes, which is a kind of 5-line poem. And poetry is really beautiful because it's all about expressing yourself and really being able to connect to the world and connect to others in the world, and just hoping that for a moment they'll have a chance to see you in the way that you hope you see yourself, and that the way you see the world. So yeah. And I guess to close us off, I have 2 little poems here. This first one is hopefully a little bit of a funny one. This is called Hurtful Connection. I dropped my phone on your foot. You cried. I lifted it from your toe and checked my messages. I had a text from you. Thank you. And this last poem I wrote, this poem is called Inspired. 2 Burnett robins tussle well against the wind that tackles against the fallen oak. Brown and brown and brown against that which is colorless, that which life perches against. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. We're done.
Did you write a poem?
I did not. Maybe next time.
Thank you all for those fabulous poems. And now I invite you to rise as you are willing and able and join in our closing hymn, number 34, Though I May Speak with Bravest Fire.
Thank you.
closing words come from the Reverend Michelle Collins. As you leave this space, may you practice the art of truly noticing yourself with honesty, others with compassion, the world with clear perspective. Remember that attention is love made deliberate. Amen. Blessed be, and go in peace. Please enjoy the postlude. And as your final act of worship, when it's over, turn and greet your neighbor.